I found the prescription bottles in my daughter's bathroom trash. Empty bottles, dozens of them, all filled within the last 6 months. All medications I'd never seen her take. I was at our apartment cleaning while she was at what she'd said was a chemotherapy appointment. She'd been too weak to clean, she told me, too exhausted from the treatments. Could I come over and help? Of course, I'd said yes. I always said yes. I'd been saying yes for 3 years. Yes to driving her to appointments. Yes to paying her rent when she was too sick to work. Yes to covering her medical bills. Yes to putting my own life on hold to care for my dying daughter. Except she wasn't dying. The bottles in the trash told a different story. They were all filled on the same dates, all from different pharmacies, all still sealed. She'd never taken a single pill. I stood in her bathroom holding a bottle of anti-nausea medication she'd begged me to pay for because insurance wouldn't cover it, medication that cost $200, and felt my world tilt sideways. Why would she fill prescriptions and never take them? Unless she wasn't actually sick. Unless this was all a lie. I went to her bedroom, started looking. I didn't know what I was looking for, just anything that would explain what I'd found. In her desk drawer, I found a folder. Medical records. Except they weren't real medical records. They were printed on regular paper, formatted to look official, but obviously fake when you looked closely. Diagnosis, stage 3 Hodgkin's lymphoma. Treatment plan, aggressive chemotherapy, 6 cycles. Prognosis, guarded but hopeful with treatment. All lies. All fabricated on her computer and printed out to show me, to convince me she was dying. I found more. Pictures she'd posted on a private Instagram account I didn't follow. Pictures from the same days she told me she was at chemo. But in these pictures, she was at brunch with friends, at the beach, shopping, smiling, healthy, vibrant. No bandana covering chemo-induced hair loss, no pallor, no signs of illness at all. I sat on her bed, surrounded by evidence of her deception, and tried to breathe. For 3 years, I'd believed my daughter was fighting cancer. I'd held her while she cried about being scared. I'd rearranged my work schedule to drive her to treatments. I'd given her thousands of dollars for medical expenses. I'd grieved, prepared myself for the possibility of losing her, stayed up nights terrified that my baby girl might die. And it was all a performance. She wasn't sick. She'd never been sick. She'd faked cancer to manipulate me, to get money, to get attention, to control my life. My phone buzzed. A text from Maya, my daughter. Treatment went well today. Feeling okay, but really tired. Can you bring dinner by tonight? Love you, Mom. I stared at the message, at the casual manipulation, the easy lie, the way she signed it with love you like that meant anything. For 3 years, I dropped everything whenever she needed me. I'd sacrificed my savings, my career advancement, my relationship, my health, all to care for a daughter who was dying. Who wasn't dying? Who was using me? I didn't respond to the text. Instead, I took pictures of the prescription bottles, of the fake medical records, of her Instagram posts, of everything. Evidence. Because I knew what I had to do next. I had to confront her, expose the lies, end this nightmare. And I knew when I did, it would break her heart. But she'd broken mine first, 3 years ago, with the first lie, with every lie since. My name is Linda. I'm 56 years old, and this is the story of how my daughter faked cancer, drained me of everything I had, and how I finally found the courage to say no.
I couldn't breathe, couldn't think. My baby had cancer. I'm coming to get you right now. Where are you? No, I'm okay. I'm going to drive to your place. Can I stay with you tonight? I don't want to be alone. She arrived an hour later, looking devastated, carrying paperwork from the oncologist. I read through it. The diagnosis, the staging, the treatment plan. 6 cycles of chemotherapy, starting in 2 weeks. Each cycle would be 3 weeks, 4 to 5 months of treatment total. The doctor said the prognosis is good, Maya said. If we're aggressive with treatment, if we catch it now, I have a good chance. You'll beat this, I said firmly. We'll beat this. Whatever you need, I'm here. And I meant it completely. My daughter had cancer. Nothing else mattered. The next few weeks were a blur. I went with her to appointments. She finally let me come, said she needed support. We met with the oncologist, discussed the treatment plan, the side effects, the timeline. I took notes, asked questions, held Maya's hand while she cried. We discussed logistics. Maya couldn't work during chemo. She'd have to quit her job. She couldn't afford her rent without income. Move back home, I said. Focus on getting better. Don't worry about money. I can't ask you to do that. I'm insisting. You're my daughter. You're sick. This is what mothers do. She moved back into her childhood bedroom. I rearranged my schedule at work, asked for flexibility so I could drive her to treatments. My boss was understanding, gave me the flexibility I needed. The first chemo session was on a Tuesday. I drove Maya to the cancer center, sat with her while they started the IV, held her hand while the poison dripped into her veins, killing cancer cells and healthy cells alike. She was brave, so brave. She cried a little, but tried to stay positive. I'm going to beat this, she said. I have too much life left to live. You absolutely are, I agreed. The side effects started within days. Nausea, exhaustion. She stayed in bed most of the time. I brought her food she couldn't eat, water she could barely keep down. I cleaned up when she got sick. I took a leave of absence from work, used my saved vacation time, then unpaid leave. My savings started to dwindle, but it didn't matter. Maya needed me. Her hair started falling out after the second cycle. I found her crying in the bathroom, holding clumps of dark hair. It's just hair, I said, hugging her. It'll grow back. You're still beautiful. I look sick. I look like a cancer patient. You are a cancer patient, and you're fighting. You're a warrior. We went shopping for bandanas and hats, made it an outing, tried to find joy in small moments. Maya posted about her journey on social media, got an outpouring of support. Friends sent care packages, raised money through GoFundMe. The community rallied around her. I was so grateful, touched by the kindness. But the medical bills kept coming. Even with insurance, the costs were staggering. Copays, medications, supplements the doctor recommended, special foods for her sensitive stomach. I drained my savings, then started using credit cards, then took out a loan against my 401k. Mom, I feel so guilty, Maya said one night. You're doing so much, sacrificing so much. Don't. You're my daughter. I'd give everything I have to save you. I meant it. I would have given my own life if it meant she could live. My relationship with David ended around month 4 of Maya's treatment. He'd been patient, understanding at first, but as months went by and all my time and money went to Maya, he grew frustrated. I understand she's sick, but you have to take care of yourself too. You're running yourself into the ground. She has cancer. She needs me. And what about us? We had plans. We were going to take that trip to Italy. You were going to move in with me. All of that is on hold indefinitely. My daughter is dying. Plans can wait. Is she dying? The doctor said the prognosis was good, that this type of cancer is very treatable. How dare you minimize this? She has cancer. I'm not minimizing it. I'm saying you're acting like she's terminal when she's not. You're enabling her dependence. Get out. If you can't support me through this, we're done. He left. I didn't regret it. Anyone who couldn't understand why my daughter came first wasn't worth keeping. Maya finished her 6 cycles of chemo. We celebrated. Went to her follow-up appointment expecting good news, expecting to hear she was in remission. But the news wasn't good. The cancer was still there, reduced but still present. We need to do another round, the oncologist said. 3 more cycles, more aggressive this time. Maya broke down. I can't do this again. I can't. You have to, I said. You have to fight. So we did. 3 more cycles, 3 more months of hell, more bills, more debt. I took out a second mortgage on my house. Friends and family started questioning things. Quietly, carefully. Have you met her oncologist? My sister asked. A few times. Why? Just wondering. This seems to be going on for a long time. Is that normal? Every case is different. Maya's cancer is aggressive. Right. Of course. I worry about you too, Linda. You look exhausted. I'm fine. But I wasn't fine. I was drowning. Financially, emotionally, physically. I'd aged 10 years in one, lost 20 pounds from stress, developed insomnia and anxiety. But Maya needed me, so I kept going. After the second round of chemo, Maya went into remission. We were ecstatic. She had beaten it. She had survived. For 6 months, life was almost normal. Maya started feeling better, talking about going back to work again, getting her own place again, moving forward. I started rebuilding my finances, went back to work full-time, started paying down the debt I had accumulated. Then Maya called me crying, "Mom, I don't feel good. The symptoms are back." No, it couldn't be. It might be nothing. Stress, anxiety. Let's not panic. But the tests came back. The cancer was back, more aggressive than before. We need to try a different treatment protocol, the oncologist said. More intensive. The standard chemo isn't working. More treatment, more time, more money, more of my life on hold. I didn't hesitate. Whatever it takes. We'll do whatever it takes. That was a year ago. Maya had been in and out of treatment ever since. Some months better, some months worse. Always something, always needing me, always requiring more money, more time, more sacrifice. My boss had been patient, but my absences were affecting my work. I got passed over for a promotion, then got a formal warning about my performance. "I understand you're dealing with a family crisis," my boss said, "but we need you to be present, to be reliable. If you can't, we may need to discuss other options." I was on the verge of losing my job, the job that provided insurance that was supposedly covering Maya's treatments. I was drowning in debt. Over $100,000 in credit card debt and loans. I'd refinanced my house twice. I had nothing left to give. But Maya needed me, so I kept giving. Until today, until I found those prescription bottles in her trash, until I found the fake medical records, until I saw the Instagram photos of her looking healthy and happy while she was supposed to be dying. Until I realized my daughter had been lying to me for 3 years. Faking cancer, faking treatments, faking everything, while I destroyed my life to save hers. I sat in Maya's apartment for hours, going through everything, finding more and more evidence of her deception. Bank statements showing deposits from the GoFundMe her friends had set up. Over $30,000. Money that was supposed to go to medical expenses. Instead, there were charges to clothing stores, restaurants, a weekend trip to Miami with friends. text messages on an iPad she'd left on her nightstand, messages to her friend Becca. "Becca, how's your mom doing? Still driving you everywhere?" "Yeah, it's getting annoying, honestly, but she insists and the money helps." "Do you ever feel guilty?" "Sometimes, but she wants to help. She's basically forcing it on me. What am I supposed to do? Say no?" "I guess so. Must be nice, though. Rent paid, bills covered, no job." "It has its downsides. I have to act sick all the time, can't post my real life on main Instagram, have to keep up the charade." "Worth it, though?" "Totally. I'm thinking of keeping this going another year. Maybe say I need experimental treatment. That could buy me more time." I had to put the iPad down, run to her bathroom, vomit into the toilet. Another year? She was planning to extend this lie another year. How long had Becca known? How many of Maya's friends were in on this? I went back to the texts, scrolled further back, found more. Messages to her ex-boyfriend, Tyler, from 2 years ago. "Tyler, you're really doing this? Faking cancer?" "It's not like I planned it. It just kind of happened. I mentioned symptoms and she freaked out, took me to doctors. I just went along with it." "But you're lying about having cancer? That's insane." "She wants to believe it. She wants to be needed. This gives her purpose. I'm actually doing her a favor." "That's twisted." "Whatever. You don't get it. You have normal parents. Mine abandoned me. My mom is all I have. If she wants to baby me, let her." "Tyler, I can't be part of this. It's too much." "Fine, leave then. Everyone else does." The messages stopped after that. He'd broken up with her over this. How many other people had figured it out and walked away? I found her laptop, opened it, no password, went through her search history. How to fake cancer symptoms. What do chemo side effects look like? Can doctors tell if you're lying about cancer? How to make fake medical documents. Cancer survivor stories, probably for research to make her own story more believable. My hands were shaking. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. The premeditation, the calculation, the absolute callousness. I called my sister Carol. She answered on the second ring. "Linda, everything okay? Can you come over to Maya's apartment? I need someone here." "What's wrong? Is Maya okay?" "Just come, please." She arrived 30 minutes later, found me sitting on Maya's apartment surrounded by evidence. I couldn't even speak. Just handed her the fake medical records, the iPad with the text messages, the prescription bottles. Carol read through everything. Her face went from confusion to horror to rage. "Oh my God, Linda! Oh my God! She's been faking it, all of it, for 3 years. I'm going to kill her. I'm literally going to kill her." "I don't understand. Why would she do this?" Carol sat next to me. "You said yourself she's always been dramatic, always needed attention, but this is beyond anything I imagined. 3 years, Carol, 3 years of my life, over $100,000 in debt. I almost lost my job. I lost David. I lost everything for a lie." "What are you going to do?" "I don't know. Confront her, I guess. What else can I do?" "You could call the police. This is fraud. She took money under false pretenses. From you. From the GoFundMe donors. That's illegal." "She's my daughter." "She's a con artist who happens to be your daughter." I started crying, full ugly sobs. How did I not see it? How did I believe her for 3 whole years? Because she's your mother, because you love her, because the idea that your child would fake cancer is so unthinkable that of course you didn't consider it.
I should have questioned things. The fact that I never met her oncologist face to face. The fact that her treatment center wouldn't let me pass the waiting room because of privacy policies. The fact that she always went to appointments alone. She's very good at manipulation. This wasn't your failure. This was her choice. My phone buzzed. Maya again. Mom, are you coming with dinner? I'm really hungry. Treatment today was rough. Treatment? She hadn't been at treatment. She'd been at brunch with friends. I'd seen the photos. Time-stamped. Today. Her at a trendy cafe, eating avocado toast, laughing. While I was working overtime to pay her rent, to pay her fake medical bills. I called her. She answered on the first ring. Hey, Mom, are you on your way? Where are you right now? Home? Resting. Why? You're at your apartment? Yeah, where else would I be? I'm at your apartment, Maya. I've been here for hours. You're not here. Silence. I could hear her breathing, calculating. Oh, I meant I'm on my way home. I went for a short walk. The doctor said gentle exercise is good. Really? What doctor? What's your oncologist's name again?
Dr. Peterson, why are you asking me this? What cancer center does Dr. Peterson work at? Mom, what's going on? You're freaking me out. Answer the question. I don't remember the exact name. The one on Maple Street. Why? There was no cancer center on Maple Street. I just Googled it. Come home, Maya. Right now. We need to talk. I'm almost there. 10 minutes. Are you bringing dinner or should I order something? Just come home. Now. I hung up. Looked at Carol. She's on her way. Do you want me to stay? Yes, please. We waited. I paced. Carol kept reading through the evidence, finding more and more damning details. She has a separate Instagram account, private. Only her close friends follow it. She's been posting her real life there. Parties, trips, restaurants, all the things she told you she was too sick to do. Show me. She pulled it up on the iPad. Photo after photo of Maya living her best life. Maya at concerts, Maya at the beach, Maya drinking cocktails with friends, all with captions like, making the most of life, and so blessed, and living my truth. Her truth. What a joke. 30 minutes later, I heard keys in the door. Maya walked in, stopped short when she saw me and Carol sitting on her couch. Oh, hey, Aunt Carol. I didn't know you were coming over too. Sit down, Maya. What's going on? You're both acting weird. Sit down. She sat, looking between us. I could see her mind working, trying to figure out what was happening. I held up the prescription bottles. Want to explain these? Those are my medications. Why are you going through my trash? They're full. All of them. Never opened. Why would you fill prescriptions for anti-nausea medication and never take them? I couldn't tolerate them. They made me feel worse. All of them? Dozens of different medications? You couldn't tolerate any of them? My body is sensitive. The chemo has made everything harder. What chemo, Maya? What chemotherapy are you actually receiving? Her face went pale. What are you talking about? I pulled out the fake medical records. These are printed on regular paper. They're not real. You made them on your computer. No, And these? I turned the iPad toward her, showed her the Instagram photos. These were taken on days you told me you were at treatment. You're not sick. You never were. Her mouth opened, closed, opened again. I can explain. Explain what? That you've been faking cancer for 3 years? That you've been lying to me, taking my money, destroying my life? For what? Attention? Money? Entertainment? It's not like that. Then what is it like?
Tell me, make me understand how my daughter could do this to me." Tears started rolling down Maya's face. "I didn't mean for it to go this far." "How far did you mean for it to go?" "It started as, I don't know. I was feeling sick, anxious. I went to the doctor and they ran tests. The test came back fine, but you were so worried, so concerned, and it felt good having you care that much, focus on me. So you invented cancer?" "Not at first. I let you think it might be serious. And then you were so supportive, so present. You'd always been so busy with work and David, but when I was sick, you dropped everything. You made me the priority. So you kept lying, kept escalating. I know it was wrong, but Mom, you wanted to help. You insisted on it. You kept giving me money and support, and I didn't know how to stop without admitting I'd lied. You could have stopped at any point. You could have said the test came back clear, that it was a false alarm, that you were fine. But then you would have gone back to ignoring me, back to your job and David and your own life. Ignoring me? Maya, I've never ignored you. Your entire life you've been my priority. Not like when I was sick. When I was sick, I was your everything. You gave up your promotion, your relationship, everything for me. That's real love." I stared at her, really looked at her, and I didn't recognize her. This wasn't the baby I'd raised. This wasn't the little girl I loved unconditionally. This was a stranger, a manipulator, someone willing to destroy me to get what she wanted. "I need you to leave," I said quietly. "What?" "Get out of this apartment. You're not staying here anymore." "Mom, this is my apartment. You can't kick me out. I've been paying your rent for 3 years. The lease is in my name because your credit was too poor. This is legally my apartment, and I'm telling you to leave." "Where am I supposed to go?" "I don't care. Figure it out. You're an adult, a healthy adult. Get a job, support yourself, like you should have been doing all along." "You can't do this. You can't abandon me." "Abandon you? Maya, I gave you everything. Everything I had, and you threw it back in my face. I made a mistake. I'm sorry, but you can't just kick me out. I'm your daughter." "A daughter who's been using me for 3 years, who's been lying to me every day, who's shown no remorse except for getting caught?" "I am sorry. I am. Please, Mom, please don't do this." She was crying now, begging, on her knees. It was a performance, just like everything else, and I was done being her audience. "I need you to leave. You have 1 week to get your things and find somewhere else to live. After that, I'm changing the locks." "Mom!" "And I want every penny you took from the GoFundMe. You're going to pay back every person who donated. Every single one." "I don't have that money anymore. I spent it." "Then you'll get a job and earn it back. Because if you don't, I will press charges. For fraud, for theft, for whatever I can make stick." You wouldn't do that to me." I looked her in the eyes. "Try me." I walked past her. Carol followed. We left Maya crying on the floor of the apartment I'd been paying for. In the car, Carol asked, "Are you okay?" "No, but I will be." "What are you going to do now?" "I don't know. Figure out my finances, get my life back, stop enabling her. And if she doesn't leave the apartment, if she doesn't pay back the money, then I call the police. And I follow through. Even if it means she gets arrested." I thought about it. About 3 years of lies. About the debt I'd accumulated. About the life I'd destroyed trying to save her. Yes, even then.
Maya didn't leave the apartment. A week passed, then 2. She ignored my calls, my texts, my emails demanding she vacate. Instead, she posted on social media, a long emotional post about her cancer battle, about how hard it was, about feeling abandoned by family members who didn't understand the toll illness takes. The comments flooded in, supportive, angry on her behalf, people I'd known for years telling her to stay strong and asking if there was anything they could do. I wanted to comment, to tell them all the truth, but I held back. I needed to handle this properly, legally. I consulted with a lawyer, Mark Stevens. He specialized in fraud cases. "You have a strong case," he said after reviewing all the evidence. The fake medical records, the GoFundMe money, the text messages admitting to the deception. This is clear fraud. "But she's my daughter." "I understand, but she's also an adult who committed crimes, multiple crimes. You need to decide if you're willing to pursue this. What would happen to her if I pressed charges?" "She could face criminal charges, fraud, theft by deception, potentially years in prison depending on the amounts involved and the prosecutor's decision." Prison. My daughter in prison. "There's another option," Mark said. "Civil court. You sue her for the money she took. You don't press criminal charges, but you hold her financially accountable." Would that work? "You'd likely win. The evidence is overwhelming. You'd get a judgment against her. Whether you'd actually collect the money is another question. She'd need income to pay you back." "She doesn't have a job." "Then she'd need to get one. The court could garnish her wages once she's employed." I thought about it. Civil suit versus criminal charges. Both felt impossible. Both felt like I was betraying my daughter. But she'd betrayed me first. "Let me think about it," I said. That night, Maya called. First time she'd contacted me in 2 weeks. "Mom, we need to talk. You had a week to move out. You haven't." "I can't afford to move. You know that. I don't have money for a deposit and first month's rent." "Get a job. Save up, like everyone else does." "I can't work right now. I'm too stressed. You're stressing me out with these unreasonable demands." "Unreasonable? Maya, you faked cancer for 3 years. I made a mistake. I admitted that. But punishing me like this isn't going to fix anything. This isn't punishment. This is consequences. You're being cruel. You're abandoning me when I need you most." "When you need me most, you're not sick. You never were. You don't need me. You've been using me." "That's not fair. I do need you. You're my mom. I'll always need you." "Then you should have thought about that before you lied to me for 3 years. She was quiet for a moment. Then her voice changed, harder. "If you kick me out, I'll tell everyone what you did." "What I did?" "How you abandoned your sick daughter, how you threw me out when I needed help, how you're cruel and heartless." "I have evidence that you're not sick, that you never were." "Evidence you got by invading my privacy, going through my things without permission. That's illegal, you know. You can't use evidence obtained illegally." She'd been researching, preparing her defense. "You're really going to do this? You're going to lie more, make me the villain?" "I'm going to survive by any means necessary. You taught me that. I taught you to be resilient, not to be a liar and a thief." "Whatever. I'm not moving out. If you want me gone, you'll have to evict me, and that takes months. Good luck." She hung up. I sat in my quiet house, the house I'd mortgaged twice to pay for her fake medical bills, and realized my daughter was beyond reason, beyond reach. She wasn't going to admit what she'd done, wasn't going to make it right. She was going to fight me every step of the way. I called Mark back. "File the eviction and prepare the lawsuit." "Are you sure?" "Yes. She's not going to leave voluntarily. She's not going to pay me back. I need to force this." "Okay, I'll get the paperwork started."
3 days later, Maya was served with eviction papers. She called me screaming, "How could you? How could you do this to me?" "I left you no choice. You're my daughter. You're supposed to love me unconditionally." "I do love you, but love doesn't mean accepting abuse. And that's what you've been doing, abusing my love for you. Everyone's going to know. Everyone's going to see that you're evicting me. What am I supposed to tell people?" "Tell them the truth, that you faked cancer and defrauded me." "I'll never do that. I'll tell them you're having a breakdown, that you've become paranoid and delusional." "Then I'll show them the evidence. The fake medical records, the Instagram posts, the text messages admitting to the deception. I'll show everyone who you really are." She gasped. "You wouldn't." "Watch me." I started with the GoFundMe donors. I contacted every single person who'd contributed, sent them copies of the evidence, told them the truth. The responses varied. Some were furious, demanded their money back, threatened to press charges themselves. Others were in denial. There must be a misunderstanding. Maya wouldn't do that. One woman, a friend of Maya's from high school, called me. "I don't believe you. Maya's been posting about her treatments for years. Are you saying all of that was fake?" "Yes, all of it." "Why would she do that?" "I don't know. Attention, money, control. Take your pick." "This is insane. I gave her $2,000. I had a fundraiser at my church for her." "I'm sorry. I'm trying to get her to pay everyone back, but she claims she doesn't have the money." "Then I'm pressing charges. I'm calling the police." "That's your right." More people started pressing charges. The police got involved. A detective called me, asked me to come in for an interview. Detective Sarah Chen was a woman in her 40s with kind but serious eyes. She listened to my story, reviewed the evidence I'd compiled. She said, "This is one of the most extensive fraud cases I've seen. The fake medical records alone are serious. Add in the money from donors, we're talking about significant criminal charges." "What happens now?" "We investigate, interview witnesses, build a case. Then it goes to the prosecutor who decides whether to file charges." "How long does that take?" "Months, usually. This is complex. There are a lot of people involved, a lot of money." "And Maya? What happens to her during the investigation?" "She goes about her life until we have enough to arrest her, if we get to that point." The word arrest made me feel sick. My daughter, arrested. But I'd started this. I couldn't stop now. The news spread. Maya's friends found out. Family members found out. People started taking sides. Some believed me, saw the evidence, were horrified by what Maya had done. Others believed her narrative, that I was having a breakdown, that I was making false accusations against my sick daughter. Maya played the victim perfectly, posted tearful videos about being betrayed by the one person who should always support me, about how her cancer battle had been made harder by family conflict and stress. People sent her money, offered her places to stay, rallied around her. It was like watching her fake cancer all over again. But this time, I knew the truth. This time, I had evidence. My sister Carol was my rock through all of this. "You're doing the right thing," she'd say when I doubted myself. "She needs to face consequences. This is the only way she'll learn." What if she doesn't learn? What if this makes her worse? Then that's her choice. You can't control her. You can control yourself. The eviction process moved slowly. Maya hired a lawyer with money she claimed not to have. They fought every step, filed motions, requested extensions. "She's dragging this out on purpose," Mark said, "making it as painful as possible for you." How much longer? At least 2 more months, maybe 3.
I couldn't afford 3 more months of paying her rent. I was already drowning in debt. I made a decision. I stopped paying her rent. Maya called, furious. The landlord is threatening to evict both of us. You have to pay. No, I don't. You're an adult. Pay your own rent. I don't have money. Get a job. I can't work. I'm dealing with too much stress. This situation with you has made me sick. Then I guess you'll be evicted. Maybe that'll motivate you to find employment. I hung up. Felt guilty. Then reminded myself that this was necessary. She needed to learn. 2 weeks later, Maya was evicted for non-payment of rent. She called me from her friend's couch. I'm homeless. Are you happy now? Your daughter is homeless. You're staying with a friend. That's not homeless. For how long? Until she gets sick of me? What then? Then you figure it out, like an adult. I hate you. You know that. I actually hate you. Right now, I'm not too fond of you either. The detective called again. We have enough to move forward. The prosecutor is filing charges. Fraud, theft by deception, multiple counts. My stomach dropped. When? Next week, Maya will be arrested and arraigned. She'll probably make bail, but she'll have a court date. How much time is she facing? Depends. Could be probation if she pleads guilty and shows remorse. Could be several years if she goes to trial and is convicted. After we hung up, I sat in silence. My daughter was going to be arrested, would have a criminal record, would potentially go to prison because of choices she'd made, choices I couldn't protect her from anymore. I called Maya, told her the police were pressing charges, that she should get a lawyer. This is your fault. You did this. You turned me in. You did this with your lies, your fraud, your complete disregard for anyone but yourself. I'm your daughter. And you're also a criminal. Those two things can both be true. If I go to prison, I'll never forgive you. If you go to prison, it'll be because you committed crimes, not because I reported them. She started crying. Please, Mom, please, make this stop. Tell them you made a mistake, that you misunderstood. Please. For a moment, I wavered. She sounded so young, so scared, like my little girl again. Then I remembered the text messages, the fake medical records, the 3 years of lies. No, you need to face this. You need to take responsibility. I'll pay everyone back. I'll get a job. I'll do whatever you want. Just make this stop. It's too late for that. This is out of my hands now. It's not. You could tell them you don't want to press charges. Other people press charges too. The GoFundMe donors. They want their money back. They want justice. Justice? They're going to ruin my life over a few $1,000s? You ruined your own life. And it wasn't a few $1,000s. It was over $30,000 from GoFundMe alone, plus over $100,000 from me. That's serious money. I can't pay that back. I'll never be able to pay that back. Then you'll go to prison. And maybe that's what needs to happen. She was sobbing now. Please, Mom, please, I'm begging you. I'll do anything. Will you publicly admit what you did? Admit you faked cancer. Silence. That's what I thought. You still won't tell the truth. You still want to protect your image more than you want to make this right. If I admit it, everyone will hate me. Everyone should hate you. You did a horrible thing. You're supposed to be on my side. I was on your side for 3 years. I believed in you, sacrificed for you, and you repaid me with lies. I'm done being on your side, Maya. It's time for you to face reality. I hung up,
turned off my phone, and cried. Because even though I knew I was doing the right thing, it still hurt. She was still my daughter. I still loved her. But love wasn't enough anymore. Love hadn't protected me. Love had made me vulnerable to her manipulation. And I had to protect myself now, even if that meant my daughter faced consequences that would change her life forever. The arrest happened on a Thursday. I wasn't there, but Carol was. She had somehow found out when it would happen and went to support me by witnessing it. She called me afterward. They handcuffed her, put her in the police car. She was screaming your name, saying, "You done this to her." I know. She made bail. Her friend posted it. She's out already. Okay. Are you okay? No, but I will be. That night, Maya posted on social media a long post about being falsely arrested and persecuted by family members who don't understand mental illness, about how the stress of cancer treatment had caused memory issues and confusion that were now being twisted into accusations. She was still lying, still playing the victim, still refusing to take responsibility. The comments were mixed. Some people supporting her, others questioning her story, some asking pointed questions about the evidence. I didn't respond, didn't comment, just watched as the truth slowly spread despite her efforts to control the narrative.
Because the truth has a way of coming out, no matter how hard you try to bury it. And Maya's truth was finally being exposed. The legal process took 18 months from start to finish. 18 months of court dates and lawyer meetings and constant stress. Maya pleaded not guilty initially, insisted she'd really been sick, that the medical records were real, that I was lying. But the evidence was overwhelming. The prosecution had everything. The fake documents, the text messages, the Instagram posts, testimonies from her friends who admitted she'd never been sick. Her lawyer finally convinced her to take a plea deal. Plead guilty to fraud and theft. Avoid a trial that would only make things worse. She was sentenced to 2 years in prison, suspended to 18 months of house arrest and 5 years probation. She had to wear an ankle monitor, could only leave home for work, medical appointments, and court-mandated therapy. She was also ordered to pay restitution, the full amount she'd taken from me and the GoFundMe donors, over $130,000. How am I supposed to pay that? She'd asked the judge. You'll get a job. You'll make payments. You'll spend the rest of your life paying back what you stole. Judge Martinez had replied coldly. Consider yourself lucky you're not going to actual prison. Maya was also required to post a public apology on all her social media accounts, admitting what she'd done, telling everyone she'd faked cancer. She fought that requirement hard. It's humiliating, her lawyer argued. Unnecessarily punitive. She humiliated dozens of people who trusted her, who gave her money they could barely afford, who prayed for her, who grieved for her. They deserve to know the truth. The judge agreed. Maya had 30 days to post the apology or face jail time. She waited until day 29, then posted a short, perfunctory statement. I want to apologize to everyone I hurt. I did not have cancer. I lied about being sick for personal reasons I'm still working to understand in therapy. I'm sorry for taking your money and your emotional support under false pretenses. I'm working to pay back everyone I can. I'm deeply ashamed of my actions. It was the bare minimum. No real emotion, no real accountability. Just enough to satisfy the court order. The comments were brutal. People she called friends tore into her.
called her a sociopath, a monster, said they'd never forgive her. A few people defended her, said she must have been mentally ill, that she needed compassion, not judgment. But mostly people were angry, betrayed, hurt. Maya deleted all her social media accounts within a week. Couldn't handle the backlash. I didn't follow her online anymore, didn't check her posts, didn't engage with any of it. I was focused on rebuilding my own life. I'd started with my finances, met with a financial counselor who helped me create a plan to deal with the debt. "You're in a deep hole," she said, "but it's not impossible to climb out. It'll take years, but you can do it." I consolidated my credit card debt, refinanced my mortgage one more time to get a better rate, started making aggressive payments on everything. I took on freelance work in addition to my regular job, worked weekends, nights, saved every penny. Slowly, painfully slowly, the debt started to shrink. Maya was required to pay me $400 a month in restitution. She got a job at a call center, minimum wage. She complained constantly about how hard it was, how demeaning, how she deserved better. "You're lucky you have a job at all with a criminal record," I told her during one of our court-mandated family therapy sessions. "I'm trying, okay? I'm doing my best." "Your best would have been not committing fraud in the first place." The therapy sessions were a condition of her probation, both individual therapy for her and family therapy with me, to repair the relationship and address underlying issues. Our therapist, Dr. Nathan Brooks, was patient but firm. He didn't let Maya deflect or play victim. "You need to take full responsibility for what you did, not just legally, emotionally. You need to understand the impact of your actions." "I do understand. I said I was sorry." Saying sorry isn't the same as understanding. "Tell me, how do you think your mother felt when she discovered your lies?" Maya shrugged. "Upset. Obviously. Upset. That's what you think I felt? Upset? What do you want me to say?" "I want you to show some genuine remorse. I want you to understand that you didn't just take my money. You took 3 years of my life. You made me believe my child was dying. Do you have any idea what that's like? To watch your child suffer, knowing you can't save her?" "But I wasn't actually dying, so it's fine." "It's not fine. It's the opposite of fine. I grieved for you. I prepared myself to lose you. I destroyed my finances, my career, my relationship, all to care for you. And it was all for nothing, all based on lies." Maya looked down. "I didn't think about it like that. That's the problem. You never think about anyone but yourself." Dr. Brooks intervened. "Maya, I want you to try an exercise. Close your eyes. Imagine your mother did to you what you did to her. Imagine she lied to you for 3 years, took your money, manipulated you. How would that feel?" Maya closed her eyes, was quiet for a moment. "It would feel bad." "Bad how?" "Like betrayed, angry, hurt." "And would an apology fix that?" "I don't know. Probably not. So what would you need to heal from that betrayal?" Maya opened her eyes, looked at me. "I'd need to know why they did it. And I'd need to believe they understood what they'd done, that they actually felt bad, not just because they got caught." "And do you think you've given your mother those things?" Maya was quiet for a long time. Then, quietly, "No." It was the first real moment of honesty I'd seen from her in years. "Why did you do it, Maya?" "Really?" She took a shaky breath. "Because when I was sick, you loved me more. Or it felt like you loved me more. You were always so busy before, with work, with David. You'd see me, but you weren't really present. But when I was sick, you became my whole world. You dropped everything for me, and it felt good to matter that much. You always mattered. You didn't need to fake cancer to matter to me, but I didn't feel like I mattered. Not the same way. You were always telling me to get a job, to be responsible, to grow up. But when I was sick, you just loved me, unconditionally, without judgment. I always loved you unconditionally, but unconditional love doesn't mean no boundaries. It doesn't mean accepting manipulation. I know that now. I think I'm trying to understand it in therapy. Over the following months, these sessions continued. Slowly, painfully slowly, Maya started to show what looked like genuine remorse, started to understand, at least intellectually, what she'd done. But understanding didn't undo the damage, didn't erase the 3 years of lies, didn't restore the trust that had been shattered. "Do you think you'll ever forgive me?" she asked me one day.
I don't know, I answered honestly. Right now, I can't. Maybe someday, but it's going to take a long time. Can we still have a relationship, even if you don't forgive me? I don't know that either. Right now, we have these therapy sessions because the court requires it. Beyond that, I need distance. I need to focus on healing myself. So, you're abandoning me? No, I'm protecting myself. There's a difference. I set boundaries I'd never had before. No more giving her money, no more dropping everything when she called, no more being available 24/7. When she called crying about how hard her life was, I'd listen for 10 minutes, then say, I need to go now. When she asked for help with something, I'd evaluate whether it was reasonable before agreeing. When she tried to manipulate me with guilt, I'd call it out. That's manipulation. I'm not responding to that. It was hard. Every instinct screamed at me to give in, to help, to make her life easier. But I couldn't. Not anymore. Carol was proud of me. You're doing so well. Standing firm. I know it's not easy. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. Harder than thinking she had cancer, honestly. Because the cancer gave you a clear role. Take care of her. Now you have to navigate a relationship with no roadmap. I don't even know if I want a relationship with her. That's okay. You don't have to decide right now. Focus on yourself. I did focus on myself for the first time in decades. I started going to therapy individually, processing my own trauma from the experience, understanding my own patterns. You're a caretaker, my therapist, Dr. Ellen Park, told me. It's your default, your identity. When Maya was sick, it gave you purpose, but it also consumed you. I thought I was being a good mother. You were being a devoted mother, but devotion without boundaries becomes self-destruction. How do I find the balance? By remembering that you matter too, that your needs are valid, that you can love your daughter without sacrificing yourself. I started doing things for myself. Small things at first, getting my hair done, going to a movie alone, reading books that had nothing to do with cancer or caregiving. Then bigger things. I started dating again. Nothing serious, just coffee dates, dinners, remembering what it felt like to have adult conversations about topics other than Maya. I reached out to David, the man I'd pushed away when Maya got sick. He was seeing someone else, but he was kind when I apologized. I understand why you made the choices you did, he said. If you'd told me the truth, that she was faking, I would have supported you, but I couldn't watch you destroy yourself for someone who was using you. I wish I'd seen it sooner. She's your daughter. You loved her. You can't blame yourself for that. I reconnected with friends I had lost touch with, went to dinners and book clubs and girls' weekends I'd been too busy for when I was caregiving. My life started to feel like mine again. The restitution payments came sporadically. Some months Maya paid, some months she didn't. I'd get notices from the court about missed payments. Part of me wanted to push for enforcement, to demand she be held accountable. But I realized I didn't want to spend the rest of my life chasing money from her, didn't want to be tied to her financially forever. I talked to my financial counselor about it. If you can let go of expecting that money, it might give you more peace. But she owes me over $100,000. Yes, and she'll probably never pay it all back. You can spend years being angry about that, or you can accept it and move on. It took time, but eventually I did accept it. The money was gone. Chasing it wouldn't bring it back. It would only keep me tethered to Maya and her chaos. I focused on rebuilding my own finances. Within 3 years, I'd paid off most of my debt, rebuilt my savings, got my life back on track. Maya completed her house arrest, got her ankle monitor removed, continued her probation. She kept her job at the call center, moved into a small apartment with roommates, lived a quiet, small life. We saw each other occasionally, birthdays, holidays, brief, careful visits where we talked about surface things, weather, work, nothing deep. The trust was gone, maybe forever, but we were civil, cordial. "Is this enough for you?" Carol asked me once. "This distant relationship? I don't know what else it can be. She's my daughter, I'll always love her, but I can't trust her. And without trust, what kind of relationship can we really have? A limited one, I guess. And maybe that's okay. Maybe that's all we get." 5 years after I discovered the truth, I ran into one of the women who donated to Maya's GoFundMe. She recognized me in the grocery store. "I just want you to know, I don't blame you," she said. "What Maya did wasn't your fault." "Thank you. I'm sorry you lost money because of her. I've made peace with it. I donated because I wanted to help. That the help was based on a lie is on her, not me. My intentions were good." Her words stayed with me. Her intentions were good, just like mine had been. We'd both been manipulated, both been victims of Maya's lies. But we'd survived. We'd moved on. We'd rebuilt. And maybe that was the real story. Not the betrayal, but the survival. Not the destruction, but the rebuilding.
That was 7 years ago. I'm sitting in my living room right now. My house, the one I almost lost to debt, is finally paid off. I made the last mortgage payment 3 months ago, threw a small party to celebrate. Carol brought champagne, my boyfriend, Richard, made dinner. A few close friends came over. We toasted to new beginnings, to freedom, to surviving. I'm 63 years old now, still working, but on my own terms. I took a position with better work-life balance 2 years ago. Less pay, but more time for myself. More energy for the life I'm building. Richard and I have been together for 4 years. He knows everything about Maya, about the lies, about the trauma. He's patient with my trust issues, understands why I need space sometimes, why I'm cautious about giving too much. "You're not responsible for fixing anyone," he tells me. "Not me, not anyone. You're only responsible for yourself." It's a lesson I'm still learning, still practicing. Maya is 35 now, still on probation, still making sporadic restitution payments. She's paid back maybe $20,000 total. At this rate, she'll be paying for the rest of her life. We see each other 3 or 4 times a year, birthdays, Thanksgiving, brief surface level visits. We talk about her job. She's a supervisor at the call center now. About the weather, about nothing that matters. She's been in therapy for 7 years. She tells me she's different now, that she understands what she did, that she's working on herself. I believe she believes that, but I don't know if it's true. And I've learned I don't need to know. Her healing is her responsibility, not mine. I've learned so much in these 7 years.
about myself, about motherhood, about love and boundaries and self-worth. I've learned that being a good mother doesn't mean sacrificing yourself completely, that children need boundaries as much as they need love, maybe more. I've learned that you can love someone and still protect yourself from them, that those two things can coexist. I've learned that I was using Maya's neediness to avoid my own life, that being the caretaker, the martyr, the devoted mother gave me an identity, a purpose, but it also kept me from growing, from living my own life. I've learned that forgiveness is complicated. Some days I think I've forgiven Maya. Other days I'm still angry. Both can be true. Healing isn't linear. Most importantly, I've learned that I'm enough, just as I am. Not as someone's mother, not as someone's caretaker. Just as Linda, me. I volunteer now at a support group for adults with personality disorders. I share my story, help other parents navigate the guilt and confusion and heartbreak of loving someone who manipulates you. It's not your fault, I tell them. You didn't cause this. You can't cure it. You can only control your own responses. They cry, thank me. Say it helps to hear from someone who's survived. And I have survived. More than survived. I've thrived. My relationship with Carol is stronger than ever. She's my rock, my reminder of what healthy family relationships look like. I've reconnected with old friends, made new ones, built a life that's full and rich and mine.
I paint now. Took a class on a whim 2 years ago and discovered I love it. My house is filled with my own artwork, abstract pieces in bright colors, joy on canvas. Richard says they're beautiful, that they show my journey, from darkness to light, from chaos to peace. I think he's right. I don't regret having Maya. She's my daughter. I'll always love her. But I regret losing myself in her. Regret believing that good mothers give everything and ask for nothing in return. Good mothers teach their children to be independent, to be responsible, to face consequences, to understand that love includes accountability. I failed Maya in some ways by enabling her, by not setting boundaries sooner, by making her the center of my universe instead of teaching her to be part of a larger world. But I didn't fail her by finally saying no, by finally protecting myself. That wasn't failure, that was growth. Sometimes people ask if I wish I'd known sooner, if I wish I'd discovered the truth in year 1 instead of year 3. I used to say yes, used to think about all the money and time I could have saved. But now I'm not sure, because those 3 years taught me something. They broke me down completely, destroyed the version of myself who lived through others, who found worth in being needed. And from that destruction, I built something better, something stronger, something real. I'm not the same woman I was 7 years ago, standing in Maya's bathroom, holding those prescription bottles, watching my world collapse. I'm better, wiser, stronger.